Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Marissa here. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Out of everyone, you're here, you picked mine. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about me being engaged at 20. I was 20 already, right? Shut the front door. I was 19. How could I forget this? I'm going to be talking about me being engaged at actually 19 years old. I was going to say 20, but I totally forgot. I got engaged right before I turned 20, a month before I turned 20. So I'm going to be talking about that. If you guys do like these types of videos, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up for me. And if you are not already, then subscribe to my channel down below. So guys, I am, oh my god, now I was going to say that I'm 19 years old. I am 20 years old. I turned 20 back in July of 2017. So this July I will be 21. However, I did get engaged to my high school sweetheart when I was 19 years old. So I got engaged June 14th of 2017 and I was 19 years old, and I just turned 20 a month after that. So I don't know where to begin or how I will begin with this story. Basically, me and my fiance have been together now for 3 years and how many months? 9 months? We will be together for 3 years and 8 months on February 8th, I was gonna say 8th, 14th of 2018 this year. So basically, just a little bit about my relationship. We met when I was a junior. Actually, it was junior year summer, right? Or maybe senior year summer. I don't know. I just got done with school. I just got done being a junior and I was in the summer of being a senior. So I was just before I hit my senior year, and same with him, just before he hit his senior year. We were both the same age. So he's just a couple of months older than me. So we actually met though, the year of 2014. We met, when did we meet? The first day ever that we met was April 12th? April 12th. I have a tattoo of it. I'm lost right now. I actually have a tattoo right here in Roman numerals of the day that we met. So we met April 12th of 2014, and the reason I have that tattoo is because that is pretty much the day my life totally took a twist and totally just absolutely changed. So we met that day. And basically we hung out, we actually met from a mutual friend that we both had. So we all went to Starbucks, talked, hung out, whatever. And actually the next time that we hung out was April 20th. So it was actually Easter that year. So after I got done hanging out with my family and, you know, doing all of the Easter festivities, I actually went to the movies that night. So I went to the movies with my fiance now and a couple of our mutual friends that we had, and me and my fiance's name is Izzy, by the way, or Israel, but his middle name, or his not his middle name, his nickname is Izzy. So I actually only hung out with Izzy once before this Easter that I'm talking about, and we all were gonna go to the movies. So me and my other friends were already at the movies. We're in the movie theater and everything like that, and I had actually, I don't know what came over me, but I had actually told one of my friends to get up out of his seat and move because I wanted Izzy to sit right next to me. So I actually told him to move. I got him up, moved him seats because I wanted to save the seat for Izzy. So when Izzy did come to the movies to meet us, I had the seat open right next to me, so he kind of knew, because I had one friend on my right side, the empty seat on my left side, and then another friend was on, you know, that left side. I did save him a seat by me because, I don't know, I just really liked his personality. I wanted to get to know him just a little bit more. We all drove back to my house that night and we were just hanging out, all of us, in the front yard. And that night, I was actually, okay, this is the funny thing, because I was actually talking, kind of like talking to one of my friends in the group, like they really, I mean, they really liked me, that friend, and they kind of wanted to, I guess, be with me, but I kind of had my eye on Izzy rather than on this person. We were all sitting outside in my front yard, and I had my head like leaning on my friend's shoulder or whatever, just like as they were all talking, but Izzy was sitting right across from me. So we always laugh at this because every single time that we think about this, it's so funny because I was, you know, because this guy I didn't really see like that anyways. I kind of just saw him as a really good friend. So I was just, you know, sitting with him, but this guy was talking to me. We'll just call him Jim. So Jim was talking to me and explaining something to me. I don't even remember what he was talking about. Honestly, I could care less. And I was actually staring like right at Izzy the entire time. Izzy always laughs because he totally called me out that night. He was like, what are you, like, I forgot what he said, but he basically said like, what are you looking at, Marissa? Like, and started like kind of laughing, and I was like, I was so embarrassed because everyone just kind of looked at me, and the guy, Jim, who I was leaning my head on his shoulder, he kind of just looked at me and was like, so that is the second time that we had hung out, and actually we got very close that night. Once Jim left and all of our other friends were still with us, we were all still hanging out and talking in my front yard, and I actually stole my first kiss from Izzy that night. So I was actually the one pretty much to pursue Izzy myself. I know that Izzy, like, you know, obviously he thought I was attractive and everything like that. However, I was more of the type where if I thought you were attractive and if I liked you, I was going to try to pursue something with you. So I've never been the type to be like scared to tell a guy how I feel. After that night, we had not talked like really at all until June. I hadn't talked until June that same year. So we were in the summertime going into our senior years. So the next time that we had hung out, I think was like June 4th or something like that. We actually went to the lake, all of us and our friends. So we hung out with the same exact friends, the same friend group, because he was actually friends with all these people for a long time. And when I moved to my new school, I had became friends with all of these friends. It was like the beginning of summer. We just got out of school, so we wanted to like kick summer off right, and we wanted to go to the lake. So we all went to the lake and all that, and I had always, ever since Easter that year, I had my eye on Izzy. So I'm the one that drove, so I drove everybody there, and I actually still have the ticket to this lake. So I made like a little 3D box. I totally forget what it's called, but inside of here it says right underneath the I love you, this little brown paper right here, it says the lake and it says like the date. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I actually still have the ticket. When you have to pay to get into the lake, so they give you a ticket of your receipt. So I actually still have that ticket, and I put it inside this box because this is like the first time I guess we really this is like the first time. Oh, it was June 8th. It was June 8th. How could I forget that? That is like neck. How could I forget that? We hung out that day, and we actually kind of hung out a little bit together because I had my eye on him, like I said. So I was like working on him, and he had to get like some water or fresh air. I don't know what, but I was like, oh, I'll come with you. So I actually got up, went with him, and we went to like the river, just walked down to the little riverside, and that was inside the lake, both just two of us, and we kind of started talking, and I don't know, it just felt nice. Everyone was like drinking and stuff like that, so, and I don't really drink, so I wasn't drinking, and Izzy doesn't either, so we both weren't. So we actually just decided to leave. Me and Izzy went home, and I actually took Izzy home because he didn't drive there, so we both went together in my car alone, and that was kind of like, I guess, the first time I kind of had a feeling we were going to like start pursuing something, just because we basically talked the entire way home, and this lake was maybe like 30 or 40 minutes away, so we talked like the entire way home, and I dropped him off, said goodbye, and I stole another kiss from him. I'm just, yeah. I think he always says it how, like, I was sitting there just staring at him. So he came in and kissed me because he was like, you know what, obviously she's staring at me, she wants a kiss. So that's right. He came in and kissed me that time. So that was kind of nice. But anyways, so I actually went back to his house later that night, and we hung out a little bit, and that was that. So I think the next few days we actually hung out a little bit. Like, we went to one of our friends' apartment. We went swimming and all that. It was after that night of June 8th. That day I was acting a little weird with him, but he was like, why is she like not talking to me? Like, but he didn't like care because we weren't like together or anything. So he was like, oh, like that's weird that she would like seem like she likes me and then all of a sudden she's acting weird. And one of my friends goes up to him and he's like, so dude, he's like, telling Izzy this, he's like, I think Marissa likes you because she was saying that she has feelings for you, so just letting you know. And Izzy's just like, what the because I told Izzy that I don't want any feelings, I don't want to be in a relationship. We hung out actually a couple more times after that. After he found out that I did like him, we actually went to our friend's house another time, another day. It was all like in a week. So we went to our friend's house again, and I basically was telling him, like, we were standing outside of his apartment when everyone was inside, and I was basically telling him like, look, I like you and I want to do this with you, like, and basically you're gonna do it with me too. So, but thankfully that he liked me too, you know. It wasn't like me forcing him. It was like he was like totally down because he felt the same way that I did. And believe it or not, guys, then I think it was like the next day or the next 2 days, it was June 14th, so it was all in like a week. June 14th was the first day that we actually got together and he asked me to be his girlfriend. So anyways, that's kind of how we met. A few days after June 14th, I kid you not, Izzy was actually the first one to say I love you to me. So it was only a few days, but it was like instantaneously, like we both knew that we wanted to be together. We knew this was right. Like, we didn't really care what anybody said or how anyone felt at all. Like, because a lot of people would actually say like we wouldn't last and all this like stupid stuff, like when we first got together. And then there was like another whole thing. I don't even want to get into it because it's totally not worth my time. But it was just like there was so many different things going on around our relationship of us getting together. I have no clue why. It's just crazy looking back at how everybody thought and everything that was going on back then. Like almost 4 years later, engaged, planning a wedding, like it's just really, really crazy. So yeah, we kind of already knew that we were like in it for the long run. So we actually attended school together because he also wasn't going to my school. I actually I wanted him to go to my school with me. So basically when I told him I wanted it, he gave it to me. So that's kind of how he's always been. If I want something, like even if it's something small, little, whatever, he's always been the type to be like, all right, you want it, like I got it. Like not even just materialistic things, just things like that, you know. I wanted him to go to school with me, so he made it happen. So we went to school together all of senior year and we graduated together. I might insert a clip if I can of us on graduation, but we did graduate together and it was totally awesome, and I'm so glad that I have those pictures to remember like us completing such a big thing together. We had a ton of reasons to break up within the period of, you know, us being together. There has been so much drama and so many things happening to us, bad things, good things, like things that probably people shouldn't have to go through together but do. And I always saw it as God gave this plan to us and kind of gave us these obstacles to get through just to be stronger in the end. After all of that, I know you guys are wondering how we got engaged and where we got engaged and all of that. So I'm going to tell you guys just how it happened, and basically there's not like a huge story. It's not like, you know, he did this like huge thing or anything like that. We started looking for rings just a little bit before, just because we've always had it in our heads that we were going to get engaged. So we had started looking for rings, and I was just kind of telling him like, I want this one, I like this one, whatever, just so he has an idea. And it wasn't my idea, by the way, to look at rings. It was his idea. So I kind of knew like that he was thinking about doing it. So when June 12th rolled around, we actually went to the store, and the reason we did was because I don't remember why actually. I needed to do something. I just don't remember exactly what I needed to do. And he went into K Jewelers by himself because he was like, well, if you're going to be doing this, I'm just gonna sit here and wait for you, or I'm gonna look at rings and wait for you or whatever. So, oh, my back is itchy. So I went and did my thing, and when I was done, I went to K Jewelers, and I kind of just stood outside of the place, and I saw him like really smiling in there, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. So he comes out and he's like, just give me 1 second, like a super huge smile on his face. He was like, just give me a second, I'm gonna figure out this thing or whatever, and I'm just talking to the guy, and it's just gonna take 1 second. And I was like, okay, like that's weird, but you're acting kind of funny because you're smiling like super duper lot, so just so you know. So he came out and he was like super happy, and I was just like, okay, you did something. I don't know what you did. Our anniversary is coming up. It could have been anything. He could have got me like earrings or a necklace, or I don't know. But I mean, I was hoping that it was a ring, and thank God it was. But I just didn't know. So we actually planned a beach trip for our anniversary. It was June 14th of 2017. So we were going to go to Pismo Beach. Here in California. That's been one of our beaches for a very long time now. Like the first beach we ever went to together, or anywhere out of town, was actually Pismo Beach. So yeah, we had like taken a trip with you know, his mother and his brother and everything like that to Pismo Beach. So that was like kind of even more special because that was one of our first trips, and we had no idea then that we'd be getting engaged there. I got my bag, got the blanket out of the car, we walked down to the beach, we sat there, and basically the whole entire day passed. So he literally like walked with the ring in his pocket like the entire day, because the whole day he had said nothing, like, and I know the ring wasn't anywhere else, because where else would it be? Like, he pulled it out of his pocket when he proposed, so he had to have had that thing in his pocket the entire time, even like, you know, sitting on the beach, getting in the water, whatever. So he let the entire day pass, and by that time I was like, like maybe he isn't going to do it. All day I had a feeling something was going to happen, especially because I think for the guy, maybe they don't notice that they're acting weird, but it's like they are acting weird because it's such a big thing that's gonna happen. So Izzy was acting a little bit strange like the entire day, and I was like, it was kind of throwing my vibe off a little bit, because I was like, is he like okay? Like, is something wrong? Are you happy? Are you sad? Like, what's going on? So we were packing everything up. We literally packed everything up. We put it in the, I think we put it in the car. And when we came back out, we just decided to walk around a little bit more because we were gonna leave. We actually were gonna leave, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's, you know, let's do this. But he was like, oh, like I want, like we should stay a little bit longer, you know, and walk around a little bit longer. So at that moment, I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but because he never does that, so I was like, I kind of like had an idea. I had an idea. We didn't walk on the beach on the sand, but we did go back down, and there was like this little area where we actually had like never gone, like we never go in this area, but it was like almost a pier kind of thing. I don't know, maybe I can insert a photo. It was right in front of the beach though, like it was right in front of the beach. Beautiful, amazing view, like it was beautiful. And basically he was just, and people were around, and I could tell he was waiting for people to not be around because he was a little bit shy. And so he was waiting, and we were talking and saying, you know, just how proud of us that we are, because it's been this long and we're so proud, 3 years. Then he was saying my name, and I was like, he was saying my name and all that, and he got down on one knee, pulled out the ring, and I laughed because I don't know if he wants me to tell you guys this, like, because it was the most funniest thing in the entire world. Like, if you guys know my fiance and you know Izzy, you know just like how big of like very clumsy, very, I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe this, but if you know him, it would be like, oh, like Izzy did that when he proposed, like that's, you know, that's Izzy. That's Izzy for you. That's an Izzy proposal. So he got down on one knee and he pulled the box out of his pocket, and he opened it, and you know how the box has a slit where the ring's supposed to be inside of it, and the ring is standing up straight and you get to look at it. Well, he opened up the box and the ring was not even in the little slit. It was literally on its side, flopped over like all the way into the end of the box on the side. The diamond was flipped backwards so I couldn't even see. It was just like I was seeing this part of the ring, like the band, and it was just like all like kind of silly. It was funny. But anyways, so it wasn't even there, and I was like, I started laughing when I first saw it, and of course I was like, yes, and crying, and I wish I could have got this all on tape, but I couldn't. So, and we didn't have it planned really at all. I hugged him and I was like look at the ring, like it's not in the little slit. And he started laughing. He was like, oh my god. It's totally something that he would do, and that's kind of what makes my proposal like that much more special though, because I wouldn't have had it any other way. Like I really wouldn't have, because that's totally him. That's just Izzy. That's something that he would do. After the proposal, we got home and all that, and we went to my family's house, and we didn't tell any of his family like for a couple days or the next day, or I don't know, and we didn't tell some people for just a little bit, just because I don't know, like when you get engaged young, it's kind of like Izzy didn't ask anybody besides my dad. He didn't ask, and my mom, he didn't ask anyone about it or tell anyone about our engagement, because it was like, yeah, we know people would be happy for us, but at the same time, like he was nervous that we were, you know, that he was doing this, and he just didn't want anyone to judge him, basically. So yeah, so he only asked my mom and my dad, because my parents are actually, they've got married really young, and all my family has gotten married very young, and yeah, so it's no big deal. We don't really care. So he knew that they weren't really going to judge him or anything like that, because my parents are absolutely in love with Izzy. Like they love Izzy, and they know that he's a great person. Like he makes me sad to talk about. Absolutely great person, and I'm so lucky to be engaged to somebody that is just like the best person in the world for me. Like, I read this quote the other day that said, whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. I just feel that very deeply, because ever since we met, from the day we met to now, it's like everything happened so beautifully, so perfectly, to where we are. People may think like you're engaged young and you're probably not going to make it. I mean, we got engaged when I was 19, he was 20, but it's very different for us. And just know we've been through probably what so many people way older than us have never been through and will never go through. And everybody has their own things that they go through, so everyone's stronger in their own ways. But I just know that me and Izzy are the ones for each other. Like we are gonna be those ones. He's my person. I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit of our backstory, how it happened, and I'm going to try to get you guys to meet Izzy. I'm going to try to have him come on here. I don't know if he will. He's kind of like, he's not really a social media person. Like he doesn't have Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat. He doesn't have any of that. He's super, you know, he doesn't really care for social media that much. So, and same thing with YouTube. He's like kind of uncomfortable with being on camera. So I kind of want to do like a Q&A with him, or like, I don't know, I want to do something like that. So let me know if you guys want to meet him. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I can try to get him to come on here with me. So I just wanted to leave it at this. If you guys are in a relationship or, you know, engaged young or whatever, basically don't care about like what anybody thinks at all, whether it's your family or your friends or anybody that's telling you like you know, it's a mistake or you're not going to be together forever, anything like that, because I'm telling you guys, we have been around the block. We have literally had so many people, like, you know, so much negative energy towards us that we actually came out super duper strong. So I mean, if anyone's giving you negative energy, either way you're going to come out on top, so it's not really even going to matter. But if anyone's saying those kinds of things, basically just don't care, because I mean, I'm so glad that I never cared what anyone said. I mean, like I said, friends, family, whatever, like, we've had it all too, you know? So I'm just so glad that me and him both never cared about what anybody said, because if we did, we probably wouldn't be here today. If you guys want to know more about my relationship or my personal life, if you guys do like these videos, then go ahead and give them a thumbs up. If you guys have not already, then like I said before, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down below. That would mean the world to me, that we can grow together. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all in my next video. Bye! So I just wanted to say, guys, I totally forgot to show you guys my ring, because I know some people want to see my ring. Now, it isn't super duper shiny because I really have to get it shined, but here it is. Let me stand up a little bit. There's a little bit of a shadow, but that is my ring. And I love it so much! Okay, bye guys!